What's going on, everybody? Mike Palladino here of Vivo BJJ in the beautiful Beacon, New York. And I've been getting a lot of requests lately for neck strengthening exercises for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And so I have had my fair share of neck issues over the course of the 14 years that I've been practicing Jiu Jitsu. 6 years back, I went to go take a double leg shot on somebody. I shot a double leg and I had hyperflexion in my neck, and it left me with some little bit of long-term issues. So I had to really figure out how I was going to rehab and prehab my neck if I wanted to stay on the mats. And this is where I came up with my neck strengthening exercise routine. So let's first go over why this is important to me. This is important to me, strengthening my neck, because I want to stay on the mats doing what I love to do. I love training jiu-jitsu, I love teaching jiu-jitsu, I love competing in jiu-jitsu, and if I don't get to do those things, it's gonna suck a lot of pleasure out of my life. So that's why this is important to me, okay? I'm gonna go over what I've used and what I find personally that has worked. So I have used the iron neck. I have the iron neck right here. This is probably the most expensive piece of equipment that I have purchased in trying to get my neck more healthy. I have used fitness bands to try and strengthen my neck. I have used yoga band. The yoga band is like $5-6. I've gotten it at Target and at Walmart. I've used the classic neck extension here. And lastly, I've used the decompression pillow here. I have this, pump it up, and it decompresses your neck. So now let's go over what I've found has worked the best, okay? The iron neck is a very hot priced item. I haven't found that it worked the best for me. And what I personally find have worked the best is this cheap yoga band from Walmart or from Target, and these exercise bands you could probably get anywhere. I got mine at elitefitness.com. And lastly, the neck extension, okay? All of these are fairly affordable. All of these combined are cheaper than the iron neck, and they're a lot easier to bring with you if you have to go on vacation or so on and so forth to maintain your neck strengthening routine. What I want to get into next is just the ranges of motion of your neck, okay? So that the forward motion here, that is flexion, okay? Just like so, that's flexion, okay? The backward motion, backwards or lifting my head, that is extension, okay? And then we've got rotation, and rotation is left movement and right movement. And then we have lateral flexion, which is side to side. Now I'm gonna go over the exercise routine that I like to do for my neck. I usually start my routine with no equipment, just using my hands. So I like to do resistant holds with my hands. So we'll start with flexion. I usually interlace my fingers. You don't have to, you could just go with your one hand, but I usually interlace my fingers personally. And I look up, and now I start to look towards my toes, and I try to do this for around 15 to 20 seconds. And then I'll go opposite, I'll go extension in the range of motion. So now I'll start to look up, picking my head up. Now I'll go for a side, pulling my head right past the center line. Same thing, all these are around 15 to 20 seconds. I'm just speeding them up a bit. Pulling my head up right past the center line of my body. I'll do just like so, and then I'll get just like so. So that's usually how I warm up before I get my next exercises started. The first piece of equipment that I like to use is the band. So typically when I get started with the band, I go flexion first. So I'll put this on my head, I'll pull nice and tight, just like so, and I'll look up to the ceiling and I'll look down at my toes. And I'll look up to the ceiling and I'll look down at my toes. The other flexion exercise I like to do is I make the band as though it's like a headband, like a karate headband, and now I'll do the turtle head popping out motion. So I'll bring my head out of the shell, put it back in, bring my head out of the shell, put it back in. I typically do 10 to 15 reps, and it's important I don't rock with my body. I don't want to rock with my body. I want to keep my shoulders in place and pull forward. After I do the flexion exercises, I'll go to extension, so I'll put the band behind my head. And what I like about the band is it's fairly wide, so it can get a lot of my head. I get right here, and the first thing I'll do is I'll bring the head back. I'll retract my head back into the shell, and then I'll also do looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down. Next, I typically go to my lateral flexion. I'll cover my ear. I'll hold two sides of the band here, and I'll pull and bring my head right past center. Bring my head right past center. Again, typically 10 to 15 reps. Opposite side here. Adjust. Pull my head past center. Pull my head past center. Pull my head past center. What I like about this super affordable band is because it's wide, I can pull it over my jaw. It's gonna look a little bit weird, but because I can pull it over my jaw, I can get good rotational exercise as well. So now I can look to my left and get good tension. And I can look to my right, adjust. I can get good tension on the jaw, good tension on my neck. The next piece of equipment I like to use is the fitness band. With the fitness band, I have a routine that's more of a mobility routine with strengthening my neck. So I hang the fitness band on a pole, typically eye level. I put it on like a headband, and I do a lot of footwork with my neck strong. And I just come here and I do some footwork drills, driving with my head, almost like I'm gonna get ready to crouch into a double leg, driving forward, or like a wrestling stance, okay? Then I'll come here, I'll do the same thing. I'll keep my head looking up, and I'll back up, just like so. I get a little bit of tension on the back of my neck, and then I'll go sideways for some sideways tension. And I don't wanna go crazy here. I wanna be able to keep my head up. I'll go out to the side. I'll go the opposite way, just like so. And lastly, if I put good tension here, I can do rotations as well. Just like so. And that is the fitness bands. So another exercise I like to do with the fitness bands is laying down neck extensions. It's gonna look weird when you're in the gym doing this, but it feels really good on my neck and on my hips. So I thread the bands through my feet, and I pull my legs shoulder width apart here, and now I grab the top band and put it behind my head here. And I load up my hips, pulling them towards me, and I have a couple of different movements that I like to do. One of the first ones I like to do is rotational exercises. So I start to bicycle my feet like so while I turn my head. And another one I like to do is I take my two hands, I adjust here, and my hands stay up here at my head for reinforcement. And now I do neck extensions like so, just like this. So I do my rotational, the band's a little bit lower on the back of my head, and I kick my feet. If I kick my right foot, I look to my left. When I kick my left foot, I look to my right. And it feels really good, kind of decompressing. And then I'll take the band, adjust, and I'll just do some extensions here, trying to bring the back of my head to the mat like so. The last piece of equipment I like to use is the neck extension. So I'll typically start with 10 pounds on my neck extension. Toss this on my head. And I just plant my hands right here on my knees. I try to get that weight centered. I look up, just like so. And what I like to do is I like to do high reps with low weight. And then I'll do a couple of low reps with high weight. And that's the whole kit and caboodle of my personal neck strengthening exercise routine. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope these exercises help you strengthen your neck so you can stay on the mats. If you have any more requests, feel free to leave a comment on this video. Reach out to me on RBJJ or Instagram at Mike Palladino BJJ. Hit me up. Oos.